I hope I am live now. Um, Welcome. This third video of my challenge. Um, so now I'm really thinking what I am doing. I have really to commit to myself. And today I really didn't want to come in to make a video, but I am coming because it is my commitment. And it is my commitment, especially to myself. Otherwise, I think I will be getting too much lazy, but it is okay. I am lazy, but then I say no. It is now the time to make something. Today I was thinking about what I can give to you people, a bit insights of the things, all the things we all know, but I just want to elaborate the things in my way, how I see the things. So today's topic I have chosen, it is about boundaries and limits, and what are our boundaries. Where is the comment? So the Yusuf, thank you very much. Thank you. Um, Yes, today I was talking about boundaries and limits, and what are our boundaries? Boundary is, as you know, it is like a line that it is from. It is a something that differentiate between the two things, between the two states can also be, and from if you look at the outer world, in the world, there are, if there is a river, then there is a clear cut boundary from the at the two sides of river, one side of river and the other side of the river, and the boundaries, they remain there, so that the river can flow from there. And if there is a desert, if there are mountains, there are also boundaries that differentiate, that separate the two places on the world, on the earth. But there are also other boundaries like political or countries. They have also boundaries, and uh, but what I am today talking about is especially the personal boundaries that we human beings have. And most of the time at the workplace, especially, you hear, yeah, if you are stressed out or if you are burnout, then most of the time we learn people to set their boundaries. And most of the time, what I realized during my work as a company doctor, that people really have no idea of what are their boundaries, and they are hard workers. They are doing their best. They are working even more than their hours, and then yeah, they are burning out, and then yeah, then they have to learn about the boundaries. Uh, Zahida Mirza, thank you. Yeah, thank you for watching and appreciating. I like this topic because it is just awareness of ourselves. So we should know as a person what are our limits and what are our boundaries. So so today our boundaries and limits, and especially our personal boundary, because all what I do is personal growth. So you are going to grow as person, and maybe you have some boundaries, you are not aware of it. So with this topic, it is also in a process of getting more awareness. So what are different types of boundaries? We have physical boundaries, and we have our body, and these boundaries. So we know if someone comes very close to us, so we don't feel comfortable because we people, we want to keep ourselves from others at a boundary that is acceptable between the two people. So if there is mother child relationship, you have other types of boundaries, but if you don't know people, you will want to stay away, a bit away, and then if someone comes very close to you, you feel like it is not easy, it is not safe, and you mostly the people, the body languages, that they go to the distance, and this is not spoken, but it happens at involuntary level. Um, We have many boundaries, so it is very deep topic again, but I am going to touch it. We have emotional boundaries. Emotional boundary means that yeah, most of the time when people they are burned out or they are stressed, they really don't have no idea where they have to say no, and what is the moment, what was the moment that their boundary was crossed, and they are just crying too much, and or they have no control on their tears. It is not that they want to cry, they just burst into tears, and it means that something is broken, and the tears are actually their limit, and if they don't stop, then other people say, okay, take your time. So it is like other people in the surroundings can be aware of some other people's boundaries. So that is the emotions. Like if someone is just very angry, then other people, if they are aware, then they take distance from that person, because that person is now crossing their own emotional boundary, and that person was not aware of the situations. There are also sexual boundaries. Definitely, there are rules and regulations, and there are also something you have to know how it is. A touch is not good, which touch is not good, which is a good touch, and these things. And there are mental boundaries or intellectual boundaries. We know that yeah, we know what we know, and sometimes it is better to know that we don't know some things. This is also like cognitive. You have some knowledge, and sometimes you don't know about things, and if you don't know, you are going to ask for advice to other people, because who knows this. So these are also boundaries, and we can also grow our intelligence, we can grow our knowledge, but at that moment, awareness about your mental capacity is also good. And also, if you are sick, then you maybe your intellectual or the cognitive capacity of that moment at that moment is less. So it's also self-awareness. You have spiritual and religious boundaries. Everybody choose for some things, and don't choose for other things due to the own boundaries that they have learned as child. They have learned in their own religious beliefs and spiritual beliefs. So it is okay if you have a boundary, you are not going to drink alcohol, and yeah, okay, in your or at your work, if people are just at a social gathering, they are doing this, okay, it's okay, because they have their own boundaries. So as long as you respect other people's choices, then it is good to have healthy boundaries and respect for other people's boundaries. Yes, personal space. Yes, Zaida, it's good. Personal space is also in many dimensions. Yes, really, you have to claim your space also. You have to give space to other people, but claim also. So it is also always like checking and your emotional guidance from inside your inner guiding system. You have to trust it. There are also financial and material boundaries. If you have limited amount of money, you cannot spend more than what you have. And yeah, naturally, the time is also a boundary. And also in the personal relationships, also in the intimate relationships, you have boundaries, and yeah, professional boundaries you have also. So at work, what you are doing, and how you are doing, and who you are dealing with the hierarchy at work. And yes, and then comes a very important thing, and that is how to know our boundaries. So it is just one thing is that there are boundaries, and then how to know your boundaries. It is also a learning process. It is awareness process. Sometimes you don't know your boundary because you are working very hard, and you are working. Yeah, if you are at home, for example. if when people get burnout, especially the high achievers type people, who have so much knowledge and everything, and they get burned out, most of the time they have worked more than their own hours of working hours. Okay, and that is structurally, that is not for once or twice, and it is like it is happening year after year. And other thing is, most of the time they are working hard because they wanted to receive some reward, and like in the form of the progress in their career or getting an opportunity to come in and study, and they are not getting this. So if they are working hard, and it is not getting any recognition. This is also something that is breaking you from inside. So the boundary can also be coming low. Normally, maybe you are performing very good, but if there are some things that are happening against your wishes, that can influence your mental and emotional capacity at that time. So it is also important to know, why do we neglect our boundaries. So it is not that the people they really want to neglect their boundaries, and then it is happening. It is, most of the time it is just an unconscious process. Most of the time it is learned behaviors, and it is like yeah, you want to keep peace. You want to keep you are people pleaser. Maybe you want to help other people, and then you're always ready to help other people. It is these are the good things, but where is the boundary that you are just always doing this? You are just neglecting yourself, and yeah, and then it is like you're from inside just empty, and that is also sad. And then you have to learn to recognize your boundaries too. And then that is also a process. First you have to learn to recognize your boundaries, and then you can say it to other, communicate it to someone other. Because if you self don't know, if you don't know, you cannot say it. And how to set a boundary, it is also a skill, because if you know that this is something that you don't accept, and you have to say no, then you are going to say no, because without any guilt from inside. If there is, if you have done your 8 hours work, and then at the last hour you get so much work on you that it will be costing you more than 3 hours of 2 hours like of your extra work, extra time, then you are going to say no. Maybe the consequence is that you can lose your, yeah, lose your work. And the other consequence is, if you are not respecting your own boundaries, you will get the feeling that other people are not respecting you. And at the moment, you are not so happy at the work. And if you are not happy at the work, you are not a player to be around. And the thing that you are worried about, that will happen. So it is important to set a boundary, to say that this is it. You can do this. You cannot do this. This is the time of your work, and this is your emotion at this moment. You are, but for example, you are very tired and you cannot take any more. Then you can ask for, okay, I need some space now. And we have one more comment. You to protect your boundaries, you have to leave your comfort zone. This is also a very good point, Saida Mirza. Um, yes, sometimes, well, sometimes yes, you have to dare. You must be daring enough to say that you are not going to do this. Yeah, I'm always yeah, passionate about women, and this women and boundaries. Um, what I have seen in different cultures also, in Pakistani culture, also here, also in many cultures. As a doctor, I have worked here, and I have worked with and with also with Dutch people, with Pakistani, with other nationalities, almost all. And then I have seen that the patterns are the same. So the things that are happening in the household that are same. The some of the pattern that women are have internalized, and it sounds like more like women type. These patterns are the cause that they cannot see their boundaries. Like in love relationships, if you are in love with your partner and your partner say, okay, I may have your passwords of all your Facebook and social media accounts and who is calling you, and yeah, everywhere they are controlling it. That is also need respectful for not respectful for your boundaries. You know, you are a person, you are in a relationship, but you are not just going to mingle with all the that you have no more personality like this. So you are a healthy grown up person with healthy boundaries, and you know that you are going in a relationship, but you have your own things also. So if someone is asking, you know, I should know everything about you, but you are not allowed to know everything about other people, and then it is not good. Then it is not a term that you have to accept. And the boundary, how early you are going to set, how better it is. So because if you're going in a relationship and you are sacrificing, you are doing all the things and you are never recognized, never seen, like she is also something like it is also her uh, 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 or you're getting so much recognition because you are working very hard, because you are making always the things in order, and otherwise if you are taking a one day off, then there is no recognition, then there is no one to take care of you, and you are just yeah, at this, you know, you have to learn to recognize your boundaries and say, it is not that you are just tired of doing all the household work, and then at the end of the day you are so angry on your children and on your partner that you are just bursting in the anger, and then you have tears, and you are so it is just like so much it is like helplessness. And then you are more most of the time women are more sad because they have done and they have said the things that they really don't want to say, especially to their children. So these patterns must be changed, because if you set a healthy boundary like, I am getting tired and I need rest now, it is my time, it is my self care, and if you are going to put a limit there, then other people also know. And if you ask for help, you have to delegate also the tasks, because you are not supposed to do all the things. And if you are doing and other people are not seeing it, because they have no problem, but if you communicate, and this is also important to communicate, it is beneficial to delegate the task to your partner also, to say, okay, I can do this and this not, and I have other priorities. Maybe you want to study, maybe you want to grow in your careers, and then if you're always busy here, then you have no time over for yourself. And it is also healthy to communicate with each other. It will also give some respect to your partner also, because maybe he or she is not so alert and just taking it for granted. But then you have to communicate, because it is your problem, and the person with the problem uh, has to take the initiative. Because most of the time in therapy, most of the time when people come to us and they say, now, if my partner is going to change and going to accept me as I am, or going to do the things like, or if my boss is going to change, then everything will be good. And then I say, no, because it is your problem. Even if you have 1% 1% of the share of this problem. You are responsible for 1%, and you are going to take 100% responsibility of your 1% share, because you have to grow from it, and don't expect from other people that they are going to learn, because if you change, they will also decide to change or go away. But it is then uh, that's then good for you and the children that you are uh, bringing up now. So my call to action today is uh, love yourself and love yourself, and be aware of your own limits, and limits like, if you don't know something, you can learn it, but you can grow from the point where you are now. And yeah, if you can understand Dutch, you are more than welcome in my coming masterclass. And who knows, I am planning so many things in my head, and they should come out. Thank you, Sada. Um, so I think I have made it for today. It's enough. Until tomorrow, and I think tomorrow I will talk. I will do a in Urdu or Punjabi. I will love to do it. Okay. Um, take care and have a nice weekend. Bye bye.